Hi everybody, this is Katie from Katie Twinkle on YouTube. I have been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons since the day that it launched, and today we're going to continue with the second episode of the series where I flatten and rebuild my island. Currently I'm working towards my 9th rebuild here in the game. If you missed episode 1, you can stop and go catch up on that really quick if you would like to. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into the next step for today. The first task on my list today is to clear off my beaches. There are a lot of things that we store on the beaches, houses and buildings to get them out of the way, flowers that we know we're keeping, sets of furniture. There are several different things, and so I'm going to go about clearing everything to make way for this transition. You don't have to switch between tools when you're clearing the beach. If you want, you can do all of one action at a time. For example, you can go through all of your beaches and pick up all of the furniture items first, and then collect weeds or flowers if you have them on your beach, then chop down the trees, and then pick up resources. Once I've cleared the beach of all of the trees, flowers, and items that are leaving, I'm going to go through my island and pull out all of the flowers I know I'm going to keep. I do 2 categories. The first are going to be flowers that I know I'm going to use in the next build. The second are flowers that are difficult to find, such as these lilies that I'm digging up that you earn when you get a 5-star island, or hybrids that are really difficult to create. I'm going to put flowers I'm not using in a place I'll show you in a minute, and flowers that I am going to use moving forward on the beach that I just cleared. Now that my pockets are full of flowers that I'm keeping, I'm moving up to the beach space that we've cleared to go ahead and drop them down. I'm starting up here in the top right corner of my island because I've already decided that I'm going to start designing the island in the front left corner and kind of move backward. So this will be the last space, and that's where I'm going to put my flowers. This is a really good time to talk about the order of building just a little bit. You don't need to know everything you're going to do. You don't have to have the whole island idea fleshed out. You don't even necessarily need a theme, but it is really important to decide which corner of the island you're going to start on first so that you put resources such as flowers in the opposite direction. And that's really just how we are going to save us from having to pick things back up again and store them someplace else. Well, that's one trip done. Off to the next. While I'm going through the steps to collect the flowers on my island, I inevitably run into this challenge: what to do with hybrid flowers that I like, that were hard to make, that I know that I'm not going to use on my next build. For example, I know that I'm not going to be incorporating purple flowers in the next build, but I have quite a few of them that I really like. So I'm going to show you guys where I put them. The back of my island ends up being a hiding spot for a lot of things. I've got quite a few blue roses tucked back here since they were so hard to get, and I've got a couple layers. Here you can see the red cosmos, the white hyacinth, and the yellow roses, and I keep at least 3 of each of those always, because those are the flowers that you need to make the garden wagon. Now, also down the line, you'll see I have a ton of the purple hyacinth. I've also got a lot of the yellow mums. Same thing, these make the mum cushion and the hyacinth lamp, so I always keep some of those on hand. But I don't need quite so many of each of those because I won't be using those items very often in the next build. So I'm going to take some of these purple ones and some of the other hybrids that are rare, and I'm going to tuck them up behind my cliffs a little bit so that they are safe. I can always duplicate them and water them and make more later if I decide to do a different theme. The next step in our island destruction is to go through and pick everything up that can be stored in your house in inventory. So you're going to leave the trees and bushes and flowers that are going away. You're going to pick up light posts, you're going to pick up fences. These here, the stakes, are not actually a fence. You'll pick those up too. You're going to pick up things like the signpost here. You're going to pick up arches, the bucket, the well, decorations, lighting, anything that can be stored in your house, and you're going to move it either into your house or another profile on the island so that it is put away and ready for the next time you need it. The next time you see my island, it's going to look very different. I'll give you a tour around when we're ready for the next step. I finished picking up all the items from my island and it looks so different. You can see I still have the trees, the bushes, and the flowers that I've decided not to keep, and the buildings are all still in place. I've also ignored the paths. After you do terraforming and move some of the buildings around, a lot of the pathing will disappear anyhow, so I don't take that out until the very last step. But I haven't told you guys yet what the plan is. It's about at this time in the phase that it's good to know what it is that you're going to be doing next. You don't need to know every detail of the plan. You need to know where you're starting, have a pretty good idea of what the theme is going to be, and know the direction of build that you're going to take, the flow, one space sort of towards another. And I'm going to take a look on the map here really quick so that you can see. I haven't told you guys yet, but I have decided to move right on to Christmas. I'm really excited. I have so many ideas and I want to put together a fairly detailed, epic build that I'll bring you guys along and show you the steps that I take. The very first place that I'm going to put together is going to be the bottom left corner, where I'm going to create a grumpy Papa Bear fishing area with the campsite that's going to be at the base down by the dock. And that is the first place that I'm going to put together. And then I'm going to move across towards the middle of the island in the front where the airport is and put together the entrance space. And I'll move up in and I'll map out where everything at Resident Service is going to be. So you can see on the map, I'm moving from that corner up towards the middle. From there, it'll depend a little bit on the space that takes up, but I know that I'll move outward from Resident Services, probably down towards the beach and then up into what will be a beautiful forested mountain space. And the very, very back left corner, maybe right, depending on how I'm feeling once I get going, will be an area with the penguins. And I'm hoping to get at least one more penguin in so I can put together a really beautiful ice area. Once you have a basic theme, right? I don't know every space. I don't know exactly how much some of these things are going to take up, but I know where I'm starting. I know the angle that I'm moving and the direction of that movement, which means for me, I know that my buildings really all don't need to be on the beach. I need the buildings to be back further towards the back of the island so that they're not in my way as I move along. It's important to know the direction of movement as you're building and putting things together. The last step that I'm going to talk about in this video should be fairly obvious, and that is taking out all of the trees, all of the greenery. I am going to be tossing most of the bushes. I find that it's pretty easy to find Leaf nowadays if I need him to put things together, so those will just go. The flowers, I know most of them are hybrids, so I will probably put them in my pocket and take them to friends or fellow members of Discord groups that I am part of. And then the trees will all just get chopped down and I'll utilize that wood towards building the next area. You'll notice I left 2 items out, which is pretty important. I have the workbench still. It's good to keep one of those on hand, and a trash can. If you have flowers that are basic seeds, the white, red, and yellow, or the orange windflower, it's actually easier just to toss those flowers as you're moving through. You can even pick that trash can up and move it with you from area to area. But there's usually a lot of random things when you're putting things together that it's easier just to toss. So I always leave those items out. And the next phase after cleaning things up, we'll start into the terraforming. But for now, I'm going to begin the process of clearing the rest of the greenery from the island. And once I'm done with that, I will join you guys for the next episode, where we will talk a little bit more about the terraforming and how we are going to get ready for the Christmas village. That's it for episode 2, everybody. First thing we did was clear our beaches. Then we picked out the flowers we're going to keep for the next design. We picked up all the items, cleared out extra flowers and bushes, chopped down those trees, and now we have this open land ready to start terraforming, which we will do next time. As always, I hope you found something useful here, and I encourage you to continue creating in this game. Until next time, have the best Animal Crossing day.